Budget preparation.
Good day everyone, I am Analuna Escasinas and I am part of the Group 3 and we are going to discuss about budget preparation. So what is a budget? Budget is an estimation of revenue and expenses over a specified future period of time. So budget is your estimating of your revenue or income and allocating it in your different expenses or expenditures within a specific future period of time. So budget is a future spending plan. It is basically a financial plan for a defined period. So normally budget happens within a year that is known to enhance the success of any financial undertaking. So budget is very important for a successful financial management. Budget can be made by governments, businesses, and individuals. So for individuals, budget is a plan you write down to decide on how will you spend your money. In business, budget is a accurate financial plan for the future. So anticipating all the expenses or estimating all the expenses that a business can make and allocating it in different expenses or expenditures to avoid overspending or expending unwanted expenses or that can create business dips. So budget is also important to make sure that the finances of the business and its finances is on track and reach financial growth. So to avoid bankrupt or overspending, budget is very important. So budget is a spending plans or a future spending plan based on income and expenses. So when you are going to budget, you should also make sure that it is within your within the capacity of your income to avoid overspending. So in short, it is an estimated of how much money a business can make and how much to spend it over a certain period of time. Forecasting. Forecasting refers to the practice of predicting what will happen in the future by taking into consideration events in the past and present. So it is important to forecast the flows of monies within the business to be able to attain the business success. So here are the components of a budget. So the budget must composed of these following. First is the estimated revenue. So as what I have said earlier, that budget is not just all about the expenses or the allocation of money in different expenses. It also talks about the money you expect your business to make from sales of goods and services or your income. Next is the fixed cost. When business pays the same amount regularly for a particular expenses, so a budget composed of a fixed cost. Fixed cost means it is primarily the expenses that happen repeatedly, or it is the exact amount that you pay within a period of time. Okay, example of fixed costs are your rent. So rent you usually paid in a year with the same amount. Next is a budget should compose of variable costs. It includes the cost of goods or services that can fluctuate based on your business success. Next is one-time expense, once-off and unexpected costs. So a budget composed of one-time expenses. So one-time expenses means it is not basically it is not you needs finances. So sometimes it just happened unexpectedly. Example, or if there is an equipment that is damaged, so you need to purchase one. So that is what called unexpected cost. Next is cash flows. So money that travels in and out of the business. So it's also important to be able to know how does the track of finances goes in your business, enable for you to know where your money goes in and out. Next is the profit, or the amount earned in the business. So there are types of budget. First is the sales budget, production budget, capital budget, cost budget, marketing budget, and project budget, revenue and expenditure budget. So operating budget. So operating budget refers to the budget for income statement elements including revenue and expenses. So it it talks about your finances and your revenues or your income within a business. So under the operating budget, there is a production budget. So production budget is the production from the number of units and cost to the type of products, plant capacity, operating cycle, make or buy policy, etc. for the budgeting period. So in production budget, it all is about how much the number of production need to be made, or the plant capacity, or the operating cycles, or the time that the product should be done. Next, under operating budget is the sales budget. So sales budget is the plan both quantity and value. So it does not only talks about value, so it also about quantity, or how much, or the sales, how much the sales are forecasted for the period, which is the sales manager's responsibility. So in sales budget, it also talks about the value, or the amount, and the quantity, or how much sales need to be achieved. Next is the purchase budget. So purchase budget is the plan for each purchase item that each department purchases. So the purchases manager has to make this budget so that each department can make. So purchase budget are the equipment or different purchases that happen within the organization that you need to be allocated. Next is the production cost budget. So in production budget, it talks about the numbers of production needed to be made and the production capacity. In production cost budget, talks about manufacturing costs, or the money, or the allocation of money or budget needed in the production budget. The cost of raw materials, labor, direct expenses, and factory overheads. That shows the production for the units that are budgeted for production. Overhead budget. Overhead includes the factory overheads budget, the administrative overheads budget, and the selling and distribution budget, along with others like the plant utilization budget and research and development budget. The factory overhead factors in things such as the indirect labor cost, indirect material costs, and other indirect expenses. So those are budgets under operational budget. So next is the capital expenditure budget. The capital expenditure budget refers to the budget for expected investments in capital assets and long-term projects. So capital, from the word capital. So when you talk about capital, so when you start a business, so you need a capital for you to start up with your business. So in capital, you need to capital can also be called your investments. Typically, it is prepared for 3 to 10 years. Investments and capital assets include purchases of fixed assets such as buildings, machinery, equipment, lands, or plants, and long-term projects may be designed to develop new products, reduce costs, expand existing product lines. So, you need capital, of course, in your business to have to purchase different equipment or purchases in your business like buildings, machinery, equipment, lands, or plants. Next is the program budget. So program budget is a budget for a specific program or activity such as research and development, engineering, training, marketing, or public relations. So all the research and project development expenses will be allocated in program budgets. Next is financial budget. So financial budget refers to the budget for the balance sheet elements. The financial budget sandals the expected assets, liabilities, and stockholders' equity. So these are all the financial budget talks about your assets, your liabilities, and the equity of different stockholders. Next is the cash flow budget. So cash flow is a budget for expected cash inflows and outflows for the budgeted period of time. So it is the budget of how how much money you need to allocate in your inflows and outflows. Next is the static budget. Static is a fixed budget. So this is budget that is expected capacity level. Because it is fixed, it is usually used by stable companies. So whatever changes happen in a budgeting period, fixed budget cannot be changed. So it is constant. Whatever changes happen in static budget, the plan will be followed and will never be changed. Whereas in flexible budget, also known as the expense budget, so flexible means it can be changed or it can be adjusted depending on the changes happen within the budgeting period. So it is a dynamic, so it is commonly used by organizations. So it is flexible. Budgets are adjusted to the actual activity of a company. So flexible budget happens in an actual activity, whereas ang static budget, it is specific budget or the fixed budget that allocated within the period of time. Unlike flexible budget that it can be changed depending on the problem or changes happen within the budgeting period. Next is the master budget. Master budget is an overall financial and operating plan for a forthcoming calendar or fiscal year. So, master budget is the overall summary of different kinds of budget, the production budget, the financial budget. So, all the summary of these plans will be put on master budget. So it is used to create projected financial statements. That's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone, my name is Maria Christine J. Ongria from BSBELB. My topic is all about the principles of budget. First, estimate should be on a cash basis. The budget should be prepared on the basis of what is expected to be actually spent or received during the financial year. Ang budget kinahanglan ni andamon base sa gipaabot nga aktwal nga gastuhonon o madawat sa panahon sa financial nga tuig. For example, when buying office supplies, the company typically pays cash for them. Under cash basis, the company then has a business expense and reduction in their cash balance. Second one, budget should be a balanced one. Estimated expenditure should not exceed the estimated revenues. Dapat nga ang gibanabana nga gasto, kinahanglan nga dili siya mulapas sa gibanabana nga kita. Estimated revenues is more than estimated expenditure is called surplus budget. Kung ang imong income, ang kita or income mas dako sa imong gasto, mauna siya ang ginatawag nga surplus budget. Estimated expenditure is more than the estimated revenues is called deficit. Kung ang imong gasto mas dako sa imong kita, mauna siya ang ginatawag nga deficit. Third one is estimate should be a departmental basis. Expenditure and revenue estimates of budget should be prepared by the department directly dealing with them. Ang mga banabana sa gasto o kita sa budget kinahanglan andamon sa departamento nga direktang nagdumala sa pagatubang niini. Fourth one is budget should be on annual basis. Budget are almost annual, although the fiscal year can be the calendar year or some other 12 months period. Ang legislator dapat maghatag og kwarta sa executive sulod lang sa usa ka tuig. Ang usa ka tuig mao ang minimum nga panahon nga kinahanglan sa executive aron epektibong ipatuman ang budget. The term annual basis has multiple application in finance. In its sense, it refers to an observed figure over the course of the year. It is an also referred something that happens every year. Also, salaries, interest rates, and returns are often quoted on an annual basis. Fifth one is financial transactions. Opposites of single budget is plural budget, where state department-wise budget are prepared. The sixth one is roll of blocks. It means if the money granted to the executive by the legislator is not spent by the end of the financial year, the balance should be returned to the treasury. Kung ang kwarta nga gi-grant sa executive sa legislator sa executive nga wala siya na hurot og gasto, kinahanglan nga ibalik na siya sa treasury. The government not be able spend it unless it is resanctioned in next year's budget. Ang gobyerno dili siya dapat mo gastoan na unless dili siya ma-resanction sa sunod nga tuig nga budget. The seventh one is budgeting should be on gross and not net. All the transaction of receipt and expenditure of the government should be fully shown in the budget. So dapat nga ang mga resibo or mga nagasto nga kwarta dapat ibutang na siya sa gross o dili siya i-direct o net. That's all. Thank you.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmate. My name is Joanna Marie M. Tanallon. My topic is characteristic of budget. Budget is a statement of estimated or expected result. Ang budget kay usa ka pahayag nga ginabana-bana o ginapaabot nga resulta. The word budget is derived from dabugit, a French word meaning a leather punch with each pound are appropriated for meeting anticipated expenses. Ang pulong nga budget gikuha gikan sa bugat. Usa ka Francis nga pulong nga nagpasabot nga usa ka panit nga punch diin ang pundo gikuha gigahin alang sa pagtagbo sa gipaabot nga mga gasto. A business budget is a plan which cover all the pieces of operation of an enterprises for a definite period of time. Ang budget sa negosyo o sa kaplano nga naglangkob sa tanan nga mga hugna sa operasyon. Sa usa ka negosyo, kapiho nga yugto sa panahon. There are 5 characteristics of budget. First, it is firm in advance, keeping an eye on a future plan of action. Kini di-frame daan nga nagtanaw sa umaabot nga plano sa action. Second, it is a future period and based on objectives to be achieved. Kini usa ko maabot nga panahon o gibase sa tumong nga makabot. Third, it is financials and or quantitative statement prepared for executions of policy formulated by the top management. Kini mao ang financial o quantitatives nga pahayag nga giandam alang sa pagtuman sa polisiya nga giumol sa top management. Fourth, stated in monetary terms, although it may be backed up by non-monetary amount. Gipahayag sa termino sa kwarta bisan kung kini mahimong ginapaluyuhan sa dili kwarta nga kantidad. Fifth, once approved, the budget can change only under specified conditions. Sa higayon nga maaprubahan ang budget, mausab lamang ubos sa espesipikong kondisyon. That's all. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Liezel Atazan, BSOE1C. This is my topic about the budgeting process. Refers to process that involves planning and forecasting, implementing, monitoring and controlling, and finally evaluating performance of budget. Budget preparation process organization is the budget department normally reports to the corporate controller that administers the information flow of the budgetary control system. The budget committee consists of members of senior management, the CEO, the COO, and the CFO, reviewing and either approving or adjusting of each budget. The issuance of guidelines based on strategic planning to govern the preparation of the budget for dissemination to all managers. Example, assumed inflation, corporate policies, compensation, and benefit. Initial budget proposal is responsibility center manager and their staff to develop a budget request, and then based on the existing levels which are then modified in accordance with the guidelines. The negotiation, the budgetee discusses the proposed budget with his or her superior, and the heart of budget preparation process, the difference between the budget amount and the best estimate. Then review and approval. Analyze, put the pieces together and examine the total. The final approval is recommended by the budget committee to the CEO, to the board of directors. The budget revisions. There are two general types of budget revisions. The number one is procedures that provide for a systematic updating of the budgets. And then the second is the procedures that allow revisions under special circumstances. And then budget revisions must be justified on the basis of significantly changed conditions from those existing when the original budget was approved. And then the contingency budgets provides a way of quickly adjusting to change condition if the situation arises. The behavior aspects is the participation in the budgetary process. Top-down and bottom-up budgeting is the budget participation has positive effects on managerial motivation. 4. Because there is likely to be greater acceptance of budget goals if they are perceived as being under managers' personal control rather than being imposed externally. And the second is participative budgeting results and information exchange. The degree of budget target difficulty is the ideal, challenging, but attainable. Why attainable? If budget too difficult, managers are motivated to take short-term action that may not be in the long-term interest of the company, reduce the motivation for managers to engage in data manipulation to meet the budget, and then difficult to attain budget may lead to overcommitment of resources. If managers able to meet and exceed their target, there is a winning atmosphere. So the senior management involvement is to motivate budgeting, and then there should be active participation in the approval process. Then follow up on the budget results. The budget department, it has difficult behavioral problem. They must walk the fine line between helping the line manager and ensuring the integrity of the system. So that's all about the process of budgeting. That's all. Thank you.
Hi, this is Maurice from BSOA 1B, and this is my report is about important budget preparation. The important budget preparation is creating a budget is an important pillar of your overall success and security. It allows you to oversee and better understand whether your business has enough revenue, incoming money to pay its expenses. Using a budget can help you make more effective financial decisions. A budget can help you determine your long-term goals and put your own of the path working towards them. Having a set criteria or map of how to allocate your spending will ensure you can live within your means and work towards the purchase of those items such as a new car, loan payment, or a house, or even a family bonding. What are the importance of budgeting? A budget helps create financial stability. By tracking expenses and following a plan, a budget makes it easier to pay bills on time, build an emergency fund, and save for major expenses, such as a car or home. Overall, a budget puts a person on a stronger financial footing both the long term. What is the preparation of budget? Budget preparation is a process where the designated organizations and individuals having defined responsibilities that must be carried out within a given timetable. It identifies your available capital statements, your spending, and help you predict revenue. A budget can help you plan your business. Activities can act as your yardstick for setting up financial goals. It can help you tackle both short-term obstacles and long-term planning. That's all. Thank you.